Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Barak Hershowitz, and I've been the president of the International Luxury Hotel Association. I'd like to welcome you to the ILHA webinar on how Omni Nashville Hotel excels on Cvent's top meeting hotel list. So today's webinar is brought to you by Cvent. Cvent is the leading platform for attracting more buyers and simplifying the execution for great group meetings and corporate travel at your hotel. Um, Cvent's been a great supporter of ours at the ILHA. We love them because they combine tools for your teams, for hotel teams, with the largest aggregation of active meeting planners and travel buyers that are sourcing business. And they help you secure your success throughout the entire life cycle of your event. So Cvent puts out a top meeting hotel list, and your hotel was number two. So you can see it's top 20, 2024 top meeting hotel list. Um, they analyze meetings and events booking activity through their supply network, which is called the CSN. Um, and this annual list, it ranks hotels based on group business performance data using criteria such as total requests for proposals, so total like RFPs for your property, conversion rate, response rate, things like that. Every outstanding hotel that has made the list seems to have the perfect recipe for success that combines top-notch customer service, attention to detail, consistency, personalization, all those things that make great luxury event spaces. So to learn more, we sat down with the Omni Nashville Hotel, which is number two on that list, and we will find out more about what makes them so successful. So I'd like to introduce you to Todd Rodermel, who's the area director of sales and marketing at the Omni Nashville Hotel, and Rochelle Eiler, director of sales at the Omni Nashville Hotel. They're going to be telling us a little bit about the Omni Nashville Hotel, what makes it so special, and how they were able to achieve number two on the CVAC list this past year. So let's kick it off. Hello to both of you. Um, what makes your hotel so unique? What makes it special?
Thank you, Brock. First of all, we appreciate you having us on. Um, we are a little biased, but we think our hotel is very unique. It's the second largest hotel in the state of Tennessee, the largest hotel in downtown Nashville. We have the largest hotel ballroom in downtown Nashville. Our tagline is urban elegance with a vintage touch. One of the many unique things about our hotel is, other than being in the heart of the central business district across the street from the Music City Center, we also seamlessly connect on three levels to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. So you can actually come to the lobby, grab your room key, walk through a shared lobby, and directly into the Country Music Hall of Fame. On our fourth floor amenity deck, where our swimming pool, our spa, and our fitness center is located, we also connect to an outdoor terrace. But the coolest thing is we have a 15,000 square foot ballroom and a 25,000 square foot ballroom located on the second floor of the hotel. And then we also connect on that level to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, where they have a 750 seat CMA theater. So the unique thing about groups at our hotel is, where else in a downtown area can you meet, feed, and exhibit 750 people on the same level? So that's unique about our hotel. Omni's mantra is local color. So when you walk through the hotel, all of our artwork was commissioned just for this project. Over 50% of our artwork are from Nashville artists, and over 75% of our artwork are from artists from the state of Tennessee.
It's amazing. I mean, it definitely sounds like you guys have quite a position and location there, and have integrated a lot of the local, some of the local arts and that too. Are you feeling we've been talking a lot this year about events as well, like so how concerts and events and things, I guess that helps support your hotel as well, by the way you're positioned in Nashville.
We are a half a block from Bridgestone Arena, which was rated the #1 arena for events in North America last year. We're a block and a half from the Ryman Auditorium and 2 blocks from Ascend Amphitheater. And one of the reasons they call it Music City is because of the opportunities that I just mentioned.
Fantastic. And speaking specifically to 2024, what are some of the things that have happened this year that helped your team find success that have actually up on the list?
Yes, well, Barack, we were very fortunate to have successful 2022 and 2023 years. And so going into 2024, it's all been about carrying that same momentum into the year. One is we have a very tenured team here, not just in our hotel specifically, but within the industry. We have an area director of finance who's been with the company, with Omni, for over 35 years. Our area general manager has been with the company for 20 years. Myself, nearly a decade. Our executive chef, all of our banquet captains have been at this property since we opened. So that kind of tenure, Todd himself has been the first person hired. He doesn't like to brag, so I'll brag on him for a second. He was the first person hired at this hotel over 13 years ago. The hotel's been open 11 years. So he and these team members have played such integral parts in our hotel's success and continue to do so in 2024. As a company, Barack, we've spent a lot of resources into rebranding. And I'm not just saying our logos and our signage and our font and our colors, but really rebranding our culture. Omni in its core means all. And we are all in with our associates, with our guests, and with our owner, right? All have to be happy for the other to be happy. Our mission within Omni is truly to provide exceptional guest experiences through our family of associates and serve it up with a local color, as you both were mentioning, different ways that we make our hotels special. So we want to create that family-like environment through 4 core values within our culture: power of all, heart for all together, and all for one. We really tie our culture together through every associate that comes into this hotel who onboards. They go through an 8-week vigorous training of power of engagement, we call it. In fact, the audiovisual partners in this room, Pinnacle Live right now, they too go through that training. Our general manager goes through that training. Every person in this building who services our guests go through an 8-week-long power of engagement training, which are real life examples of experiences our guests, our groups have had at our various properties across North America. And how do we learn from that to really accelerate our guest experience? Another way we really find success is Omni is all in on growing our garden. We right now have 24 interns, 24 juniors and seniors in college spending their summer with us. And Music City, if it's me, probably isn't a bad place to do that. So good for them. But we have had the pleasure of having them spend weeks in housekeeping, spending weeks in our 7 different outlets here on property and our food and beverage side. Some specialize on the sales side. We've had a couple come through that we've sat with for a while and showed them the nuances of what makes this hotel successful. We have 4 of these 24 interns who really want to get into event planning. And for them, that means weddings, which we certainly need that in our industry, don't we? So, it's training these interns and really building on our growing from our garden. More than half of our sales team, actually, 5 of the 8 sales managers we have on our team are an example of growing our garden. They are all people who started within this hotel in coordinator positions and operations that are now sales managers and servicing you guys and knowing what you need in order to bring your programs here and find that same success. So 2024 is off to a great first half, and we're looking forward to continuing that in the second half.
Well, congratulations. I will say that it's wonderful to hear that you have a team that has such longevity. I think there's a common thread that I've heard over the years when I've spoken to properties that have really very high reputations and very successful business. Yeah, always had very successful, consistent business. Is that they've managed to retain their employees, and I think you've spoken to some of the points of how you do using the programs that you have, the training, splitting people just really understand that this is a profession, and that there's a future with the company. I feel like a lot of our discussion over the last couple of years has been related to the opposite, right? So many hotels have lost staff during COVID just been starting with new teams, shootouts, and things like that. So when you hear your story about how Black Monday has been extremely successful, and the key to that success has been that they've been able to hang on to their people. It's a lesson, I think, for most of the industry. So it sounds like you've had a great couple of years, which is fantastic. What about next year? What are some of the trends you are seeing coming up in 2025?
Well, Barack, that's a great question. I think coming out to your point, coming out of the pandemic, it was fortunately here in Nashville, we took off like a rocket. We are within 600 miles of 60% of the nation's population. And we took off a lot faster than the rest of the nation. And I think that moving forward, now that we're back to normal, I guess you could say, people are looking for experience. They don't want to go to a hotel and experience, I'm sorry, a rubber chicken at a buffet at lunch, a standard schoolroom set. So I think that at least what we're trying to do here at the Omni Nashville is elevate that experience. Instead of a rubber chicken, we want it to be culinary. We'll have the meeting planner sit down with our chefs and our catering and convention services team, and they'll talk about things in the past that have really worked, or new ideas or new trends that they're seeing. And we'll implement that with whether it's a group of 10 or a group of 1,000 people. We try to do that with everybody that walks into our doors. And I think we have the reputation as well as excellent service. But when you tie those together, and to your point earlier, we were fortunate that coming out of the pandemic, we got a lot of our employees that actually came back. So we didn't have to go over that learning curve of retraining everybody.
Absolutely. It's interesting. I think just while we're on plugging of the meetings and meetings industry and the growth, I think there's a lot of after, I think maybe some like with so many workers becoming working remotely and having virtual meetings and things like this, that the meetings industry was something okay. The meeting industry is done, it's finished, in the future. This was how they kind of sent it out. We're gonna have to prove it. And then we saw this unique thing happening, which is where because so many people are working from home and they're not working at the office, they are looking to go to events where they can meet people. They can, have you seen any of that like professional events where people are coming for corporate events and things like that to kind of connect with other people in person.
If you remember correctly, when we had to wear our masks and we couldn't go to a reception, and we, didn't have the trade shows anymore. And, then all of a sudden, when that passes, all of a sudden I see Barack in a reception and we give each other a big hug. And it was like, we miss that in our industry because we are hospitality and we like to touch and feel and hug. And especially the ones that we see every year at an IMEX trade show or MPI or ASA
Or Cvent Connect.
or Cvent Connect.
Yeah, so it's great. And I think that's what we're hearing across the board is that the meetings industry has never been stronger. And so what we thought might be something that was going to slow us down actually has been helping us. And so that's great to hear, especially from a major conference or hotel that has a lot of events. Um, so I mentioned earlier, Cvent's a partner of ours. They've helped support us, and I know they're helping and support you guys there. You on the list. What are some of the biggest challenges you're facing, and how Cvent has helped you solve those issues? Love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yes, absolutely. For us, some of our greatest successes in 2024, what are some of our biggest challenges too? We need to really focus on staying relevant, and Cvent assists us with that in so many ways. We can reach out to our Cvent partners and we can run promotions that don't just have to be our hotel specific. It could be Omni specific. We have a great promotion within Omni called Omnificent. You book 2 or more meetings with us, we're going to accelerate your concessions and really make it worth your while to book those multiple meetings with us. We can work with our CVC partners, our Convention and Visitors Corporation partners, to publicize through Cvent our citywide promotions, which currently, if you have a group of 1,500 or more on peak that falls into some specific, slightly off-pace dates in 2026 through 2029, let us award you as a hotel community with some added rewards for that. And again, we can work with Cvent to put that on their platform so it is accessible, visible to all of those consumers. We can work on offering, if we have a group cancel or dates open up, because this is something, Barack, I hear often when I travel and I see clients. I hear a lot, "Oh, Omni Nashville, you never have availability. What are you doing here?" Right? And I said, guess what? We are going to have availability, and Cvent affords me the ability to go in and put sometimes those dates that just opened up because unfortunately maybe there was a cancellation or a multitude of reasons. We can easily go into Cvent as a platform and allow us to offer alternate dates, which we're commonly doing. You touched, Barack, on how many RFPs we are receiving and many hotels are receiving. So this affords us the ability to put alternate dates in there, sometimes through a click of a button, or sometimes just a quick message that pulls beautifully onto this report for our consumers, for the customers, for the planners, for those decision makers to see in one fluid report what options they have. And sadly, I've heard a lot of meeting planners tell me they've sourced a dozen cities and hundreds of properties, and they had 5 or 6 responses back, 5 or 6 after sourcing a dozen cities. We want to be able to use that platform to at least put our alternate dates out there and give you the option to consider them should you be in Music City and be willing to consider Omni Nashville, which we certainly hope you do. We also have used Cvent to carry that momentum. I said our biggest strength in 2024, is kind of one of our biggest challenges. How do we carry that momentum? So sales is really no more, and I like to tell my team this, sales is really no more than an exchanging of enthusiasm, right? And so is the meetings world. We have meetings to exchange the enthusiasm of getting together and giving the hugs and saying, "Hey, Barack, I haven't seen you in a while." I want to exchange that same enthusiasm from our sales team to the meeting planners, to the attendees. So we can work with our culinary to do that, our AV partners here on property, our preferred destination management companies, and they can all use their resources through Cvent just the same as we can ours. So Cvent has really been a platform that helps us overcome some challenges that we've had in 2024 and previous years to that.
Well, absolutely. I can say even from our side, we obviously have our Inspire conference here in the US every year. In addition to some smaller events that we do need some things from chieftains and that. But it's fine. Cvent's helped us as well with, for instance, I think when you have a certain event size and you're looking for a certain type of property, it definitely helps you narrow it down. Because I think also sometimes there's a mismatch between the planner who maybe doesn't understand what the hotels. Certain hotels tend to be geared up more for certain types of clients. Some of them are for smaller events, medium, depending on the size and that. And I think it's helped us narrow down the search because otherwise we were reaching out to properties that aren't right for us. It's definitely been a great tool for us too. And it's like, it's interesting because we get to be on sometimes on the planning side. I like to, we don't want to give away all your secrets. We do want to help a lot of the times that live in luxury properties like association out. So he suggested what is the visual content that they could do to improve communication with clients? Things that maybe you do that help go resonate with clients.
That's another great question. Visually, we were fortunate that right before the pandemic, we had actually started discussing with a couple of organizations about a virtual tour. So during those dark times, our hotel wasn't that busy, of course. We were able to actually bring on this company that basically filmed and videoed our hotel from top to bottom. You can go into a ballroom, you can look at any of our breakouts, you can look at any of our event space plus our outlets. They did our outlets. So if a planner,
the suite we're in right now.
Yeah, we can look at the suite that we're in. Absolutely. So, if a planner cannot make it, Rochelle and her team can actually send these guys a link, guys and gals, I'm sorry, a link, and actually do a Zoom call or a Teams call and walk through the other hotel and say, okay, here's the Broadway ballroom. They can walk in. This will be your general session. We're going to do your meals in the Legends Ballroom and do a walk through the Legends Ballroom. Here are your 4 or 5 breakout rooms, the electric, the acoustic, the bass, the old hickories, and walk through all of those as well. So that was a tool that we were fortunate that we were, I think a lot of people have it now, but we actually use True Tour, and we're very, very happy with the way this has turned out, especially those that have a short-term meeting and can't take the time to travel to Nashville. We can show you everything in real time, exactly like it looks.
Yeah, I would say that that's definitely something that I've noticed that's relatively new technology, but it's very, very helpful. We were able to use it for our events. It's the first time I've seen it. I used it, and it was very, very helpful, especially because sometimes the whole team can't go. And then also when you start to get into the planning stages, the planning stage of what things are going to look like, and it's just nice to be able to have that virtual tour. Just even if you're from my perspective, if you've been to the property, you've seen the property, you've done the tour, you didn't always remember. Sometimes when you're doing the site inspection, you're seeing a few places, and so when you come back, and now you have to work with your teams. Okay, secure the spot, but now we have to kind of start planning for the event. It's nice that we can just do it in the future. Hey, where was this again? Okay, that's right. That's what's gonna look like, signage and things like that. It's very helpful to be able to kind of go back and do the virtual tour. Um, would you say, like, what's your, if we're looking at challenges, like, what would you say your biggest productivity or, because I know technology, we're just saying how technology is really, it's every year it seems like there's something new, right? And so what are some of the biggest productivity challenges or efficiency challenges that you might have when you're using technology, and how would you use technology when you're using technology and solving those things?
Yes, I think that we could all agree that our biggest productivity or efficiency challenge, whether it's our team here or you at home or in your office, is that there's only so much time in the day, right? So, how can we use technology to make the best use of that time while still affording us time to enjoy our family and our extra activities? Make the best of our work time, right? So, when I asked my team what they think of Cvent specifically, I want to talk about that piece of technology, what they think of Cvent. They didn't know we were doing this call today, but without hesitation, all 8 of them said it's the best, simply the best, because it's simple, it's straightforward, it's fast, right? If you can use tools that are going to make things simple, straightforward, and fast for us on our end and you on your end, let's use it. Our hotel had 495 newly contracted groups in the first half of the year already, 495. We received 40 to 60 RFPs, requests for proposal, per day. That's 5 to 8 per seller. So we're busy. And I don't say that to be braggadocious by any means, but more so that you can understand we're in it with you. We're all busy. So let's use Cvent. With a click of a button, you can source in not just our hotel, but you can source in your Convention and Visitors Corporation, your global sales representative within Omni. I have meeting planners who source me because I've known them over the years. And while I might not be the one responding to their RFP, they want to make sure that I know that our hotel has received it. So I too can be included. You can include with Cvent your DMCs, your AV partners like Pinnacle Live again. Or I have a friend, a longtime hospitality friend, who's now become an entrepreneur here in Nashville and owns the company Music City Brew Hop. He too is accessible in Cvent. You can even click on options of excursions in Cvent. I mean, I didn't even know that was an option until he called me and told me about it. And I said, good for you. You're getting your name out there even more. So there are so many ways that Cvent can assist, but it also helps because of the old saying, the early bird gets the worm. Todd likes to tell me that. So Cvent allows you the opportunity, affords you that opportunity to be first to respond, or at least quickly respond, right? Be the most detailed in your responses. be professional in your responses. And what I love about Cvent is, the old school way of thinking about sales. And certainly decades ago when I got into sales, I thought, great, I'm going to be talking to people all day, every day. I'm going to be, of course, whining and dining. That doesn't happen very often, but I'm at least going to be able to talk to people, right? And because everyone is so busy, we're not on the phone that often. So Cvent is one of those platforms that when we uncover more information from the back and forth engagement through other areas of technology, that we can go back in and adjust our offer as needed, the more we learn along the way. I'm proud to say our team has 100% response rate. So when we talk about technology and using it to your best advantage, respond and respond quickly. That's the best kind of advice I can say in regards to Cvent and some of the successes that we've had.
Well, and if I can add a little bit as well, I think it's the consistency of Cvent. So since we received a vast majority of our RFPs through Cvent, or whether it's a 10-person wedding or a 150-person incentive or a 3,000-person meeting, all of the RFPs through Cvent are the same. So our sales managers know exactly where to go with the contact information, exactly where the day-by-day program is, exactly where their history is, where they've been in the past, or where they're looking in the future. So it makes it more efficient on our end, as well as the way that Cvent buttons up the proposals and the availability and sends it out to the customers.
55% of our leads, Todd, actually last month came from Cvent, 55%. So we, the sales team, is very thankful for the efficiency we have with Cvent.
Yes, we appreciate your partnership.
Yeah, I would say absolutely, absolutely. And it's wonderful. Cvent's one of our, has been a partner with us for a number of years as well, and we're so excited to have them. Last year, they introduced the 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 check-in in the box. Basically, we had badge printing on site for the first year, which was fantastic and really had speed people through. So, it's great. We love having that as a part of course in our event technology as well as too. And then things like Encore, of course, too. Um, so the- for those inside that don't have the volume and hear them getting so many RFPs, tips maybe that you can give, how they could reach out to more planners or just kind of form more just lasting relationships. Like, yeah, I can't give away all your secrets, but we definitely want to try to help the industry as a whole. So what are some tips you could give on reaching more planners and forming, these long lasting relationships with clients?
We always talk, you always hear that term 7 degrees of separation. Well, in our business, Barack, as you can appreciate, it's really 2 degrees of separation. Well, I know Rochelle knows somebody all of a sudden that goes full circle, but we always tell our team that, no matter who it is or what it is, you always treat everybody with dignity and respect. If you're a sales manager, make sure, pick up the phone. Rochelle said they are busy, you're right, but if there's any miscommunication, pick up the phone and talk to the planner before the meeting happens. Make sure you go see them during the meeting. Make sure you drop them a note or an email or a package after the meeting, thanking them for the business. Always ask for a referral. Say, hey, we just had a great meeting with us. Who else in your business or else in your company do you know, or through your local NPI or ASAE chapter that you can refer to us? So to reach out to planners that way would be more organic. There's also the email blast and that sort of thing. But we're fortunate also here in Nashville that we have our own sales team with Rochelle that's selling the hotel. We also have our global sales offices around the nation, which sells our hotel. And then we have a wonderful partnership with the Music City Convention Center right across the street with their sales team. And then, of course, Adrian Seamers and the Nashville CVC and their sales team. So it's really a collaborative effort. We have a great destination, and I think it takes all of us as one to try to get these planners to keep coming back and back and back again. And once we get them here, we want them to have that truly authentic Nashville experience so they can go out and tell their friends and their other planners that, Nashville's a pretty cool place.
Absolutely. Well, thanks. That's great advice. Yeah, I think it does. It takes time, and you have to build those relationships. So, and of course, yeah, you never used to have a great destination that people actually want to come to. And like to say, Nashville has really, really, really put. I mean, it was always on the map, but it has really put itself on the map in the meetings business. Over the last few years, I just more and more meetings I hear about going to the industry. Congrats not just to the whole city and the tourism board and so for coming together. Fantastic. Um, what are some things that you might have learned from other plannings recently, or that you might have incorporated into your processes though?
Yeah, you mentioned Barack, and Nashville's really put itself on the map, and we were proudly, as we started the call, number two meetings destination and at Meetings Hotel in North America last year. Since we opened, we've always ranked in the top seven with Cvent, top seven since opening 10 years ago. Last year, four hotels in Nashville ranked in the top 10. And Nashville itself as a destination was Cvent ranked in the number third destination. So those are just a little accolades we're quite proud of here. But when you ask me what have we learned from meeting planners, we proudly foster those relationships, as Todd said. We really work hard to hear what our customers want. When this hotel was being conceptualized, we took an advisory council of meeting planners who have done business with other Omnis, not just other Omnis, those hotels that we identified would be our direct competitors once this hotel was built. And we said, if you could build the perfect hotel, what would it be? And sure, there are some things that probably had to be value engineered out of that list of things that were requested. I think we did a pretty good job of building quite a solid property here that meets a lot of those basic needs. But then it's how do we elevate it from there? And so we are continuously asking our customers for their feedback because it's truly our gift. We're proudly boasting a 9.5 overall meeting satisfaction to date, 9.5 out of 10. And something I love from the sales side, especially because this speaks to what our associates in this building are doing. Nearly 50% of the business we've had in the hotel this year are all repeat guests. So when we talk about kind of what we're hearing, those are the people we usually are going to first because they're going to tell us first because they've been here multiple times, right? And so I have a dear friend and meeting planner who meets with us on an annual basis, whose company in recent years has gone from a privately held company to a public company. And with that comes budget constraints, right? So we talked about ways that Omni Nashville needs to achieve their goals of staying relevant and carrying the momentum. Those are the same goals that our meeting planners, that our CEOs, that our board of directors of these companies and organizations have. So we're all in it together. It's helping that specific client create that same relevancy, that same momentum that he has had for his program every year here in Nashville, but with a tighter budget, right? It's working again with our DMCs, with our CVCs, exchanging information with the local honky tonk down the street and saying, help us out here. We're all in it together. We understand that at this property. We're going to get you to your goals and your finish line beyond just what the walls of this building are. And the call today is really what's the secret of Omni Nashville. And I'd love to tell you all the secrets, and Todd shared some of those. But I really think Barack and team, it's the secret's in the sauce, and there's no specific recipe. This is grandma's supper for dinner, and we are throwing it all in, but there's no specific recipe that's going to work for the next. We here love to underpromise and overdeliver, and it's something we continuously tell our associates, our sales team, everybody in this building. We need to underpromise and overdeliver when they get in here into this building. We need to exceed their expectations through that secret sauce, and this is what keeps them coming back. Again, more than 50% of our groups this year were all repeat. So the secret's in the sauce.
Absolutely. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you both for Tom and Michelle for sharing this wonderful incident with us. Expertise. I mean, at the end of the day, with an association, we like to say the ILHA is the leading think tank in luxury hospitality. And we try to help elevate the industry and help it continue to grow by by sharing best practices. And I always find that the best practices, when we look at what are the best practices, you have to go to the hotels and that are succeeding in areas. And so, congratulations for your number two on the Cvent list. I mean, it's just hearing the success that you've had and how busy and how popular and how your ratings and your events are extremely online. We think that all of the information you share with your members is very valuable, and I'm sure you have helped them in many ways. So thank you to you. Um, I will, and if anyone's there, by the way, if anyone's in Nashville, make sure you pop them and say hello to them. And take pictures with the boring showing how well it's really the hotspot in meetings at the moment right now. So, congratulations. I'd just like to wrap things up a little bit here. Thank you again. For those of you who are enjoying this webinar and would like to see more, we have the International Luxury Hotel Association's webinars can be found on our website. They can also be, if you follow the ILHA on LinkedIn. We usually have webinars pretty regularly with amazing, and very useful, amazing content, great best practices that you can follow for your hotels and your properties. Um, Big thank you to CVent for helping us. Um, Technology is really advancing in hospitality and in the meeting space there. Um, they're doing a lot of exciting things. If you, for instance, for those of you who have used sushi tables in the past, which is now called Cvent event diagramming, to help diagram and plan out your events, what everything's going to look like. They've invested quite a lot in that technology. If you haven't seen it in a while, you should definitely check it out. We'll post the link, but you can go to socialtannies.com. I think it's / pricing. There's a free trial that you can get there to try it out. If you're planning an event and you would like to lay it out for your hotels for planning and allowing your guests as well to really get a good understanding of what the layouts will look like. Cvent's the event diagram is a great tool to use as well. So, big thanks again to them, our technology partner, to both of you at the Omni Nashville. And yeah, look forward to successful year. Thank you so much to both of you.
Thank
You are
you.
as well. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Barack. Appreciate it.